Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the No Life Tech Show every Friday. Get it? Hit up our website right there, nolife.digital. You can see it there as well. And our Twitter at No Life Digital, Twitch, and our Instagram, No Life Digital. We're rocking and rolling. We got a lot of stuff coming for you. Oh, shit, Doobie. I just reminded, we didn't talk about the article that you've written.
The breakdown.
That's okay.
That's
okay.
fine.
That's okay. Well, if you're watching this on Friday, which is in the future from us now, you might have seen that article. If you haven't, hit up our website. It'll be up there in the gaming section. Did a good job basically talking about Billy Mitchell and his inevitable demise.
Billy Mitchell, Todd Rogers, and Twin Galaxies.
Yeah, you did a good piece. I read it, putting it together. So
I tried doing it to explain some kind of what's happening to the casual audience that doesn't really know what everything means. You know, trying to explain to them in the most simplest of terms what I would explain to non-gamer friends.
And ultimately too, that leads you into like your own like speed running kind of score attack section on the website. Yeah. So Doobie will be writing articles just basically giving you rundowns. I don't know, go ahead, explain it.
Yeah, it's the breakdown where I break it down and just try to take any kind of concept, any kind of argument going on in the community, and explaining it to the people who are outside of the community who don't really fully grasp everything, and trying to make it as simple as possible. So the last week was the whole Billy Mitchell, the cheating thing with Twin Galaxies, and what Twin Galaxies used to be and what they are now, as well as the future. And this upcoming week, so this weekend, I'll have one up where I'm talking about glitches as cheating in speedruns, because that's the thing you see a lot in YouTube comments is, oh, this speedrun, it shouldn't be valid. They're cheating. They're using glitches.
Yeah.
And I'm going to explain why glitches are an acceptable thing and why glitchless is a category in general.
I got a question before we get into the show. With the Billy Mitchell thing, it was a matter of him using MAME, which is an emulator, and then a regular PCB. Now, is it still a difficult score to obtain if he did use MAME, or is it just the fact that he used it? Can it not be valid because it's an emulator?
It's not the fact that he used MAME. And you can play on MAME and submit it. The problem comes from the verification of MAME. The way that original hardware works is you're not going to be able to easily, manipulate it. With MAME, which is an emulator, you can input code into it. You can have it do things for you. You can, when you're recording it, you can actually wind back the recording if you made a mistake, change it, and you're not going to be able to tell if you're not looking for it. And that's the problem. He submitted a MAME gameplay as original hardware. So they're not looking at it going, all right, where are the MAME things that we might see for cheating? Because it was submitted as original hardware. So it got through the verification because of that. Somebody noticed it and was like, this doesn't seem right. This looks like MAME. And was able to roll it back and showed that, yeah, he knowingly submitted MAME for original hardware to pass it through the verification process.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not the fact, and that's the thing, is we don't know if he rolled that back, but the fact of the matter is, you're submitting the wrong thing on purpose. There's a reason why you're doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably because you cheated.
Yeah. And the whole like the video where he was like now we're switching to the Donkey Kong board. Now we're switching to that part. I was like,
yeah, there's very small things to look for from MAME. One of them is how the game like refreshes, where Donkey Kong kind of rotates, and those are things that if you're not looking for them, you're gonna miss that. Which is one of the reasons why verification is such it's a hard thing to do, because you have to know a game inside and out to really become a verifier. And my issue with Twin Galaxies, and they're doing better now when it comes to disputing games, but there is no way that they should be the hub for all things gaming. And we've already seen
they're definitely not. Twin Galaxies is definitely like one of those websites, especially in the speedrunning community, that is not really that reputable anymore.
No, their reputation is completely dead.
Yeah.
And the speedrunning community has taken upon themselves to go do, the Mega Man community a long time ago did this, where they have Mega Man leaderboards that they run themselves. They verify it themselves. These people know these games in and out. Twin Galaxies, it's too large. It's too big of an organization. If we really want true verification and fairness, it's up to the communities to do it themselves. And that's what we've seen.
I think it was interesting too because Billy Mitchell is such a fucking like hateable guy.
That's the thing, though. It's
gonna
like
bring a lot of attention.
The 2007 documentary, King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters, him and Todd Rogers, mind you, both were cheaters, had a huge issue with that documentary, saying that it made them look like they were villains. And a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, man, like no, that's documentaries. They try to make a narrative." And I understand that, and you know what? That had some credibility until they both came out as cheaters.
Yeah.
Now the documentary is looking like they might actually just be dicks.
Yeah. Well, that's what most documentaries do. They get down to it, man. Yeah, that was it was an interesting little story, especially when because that guy who made those videos, both of those videos, was like, it was able to, like, I could like see like from my own eyes. I don't know nothing about those games, but like just seeing like how the refreshes were, and like he made it pretty easy for people to understand. And that's kind of what you're going to be doing on the website, which I think is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking these things and bringing them down. And anytime we don't have any big news to really go over, I will throw up some speedrunning stuff for you guys to check out. You know, certain games that I think are cool, that are really nice for beginners and friendly. You know, just games that you can get into and watch and appreciate, even if you don't have a full understanding of speedrunning.
Yeah.
Super Mario 64 is going to be the first one of those that I do if I do when I eventually do them, because that is a classic game and a really fun speedrun, no matter what category to watch.
Right on, right on. I saw recently too of like, I want to say he was like a Brazilian kid do it. He was like some type of Spanish kid, and he like broke the 100% world record or something. It was pretty cool though.
Yeah, 120 star is that's a category.
Yeah.
High gameplay for that, like even just one missed jump, it's over. You can't achieve the time you need.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The execution is insane.
And how long does it take?
I believe it's around the hour. I think are they sub one? I think they're sub 130, but I'm not sure what the record is.
It sounds about right.
Let's
I
see,
think he broke that record. At least the one that I saw.
Is that Brazil? Oh, Spain, cheese. Oh yeah, cheese.
Yeah.
139.28. That is the current record.
Yeah.
That is that beats the record of 139.36. So yeah, you can see where it comes to like high execution gameplay, losing just even a few seconds in an hour and 40-minute game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, the HomePod. I want to talk about the HomePod. So I got to listen to a HomePod. And it sounds fucking great, dude. The HomePod actually sounds really, really good. I was surprised at how well it sounds. And is it worth like me picking one up? So I was like, I had the option to purchase one, but ultimately I don't need a smart speaker. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I was at with it. I already have like my whole sound system. It's perfectly fine. It sounds much better than the HomePod. So I'm not the right audience, I feel like, for that. So I didn't pick one up. But if you're wondering, it does sound really, really good. So if you don't have anything, maybe if you're someone that is only in the Apple ecosystem, that's an option for you. Otherwise, you know, the Google Home Max sounds good as well. They both sound really good. So
or buy
really
a
up to you.
Sonoplay 3 or 4. The Sonoplay 3 is $50 cheaper. Sounds better, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's a lot of options out there.
They both also have aux jacks, which the HomePod doesn't, which is the biggest problem I have with it. Cone speaker, like if you have, the HomePod does sound good, but it's still cone speakers. Cone speakers last forever. For fucking ever. If you have a good speaker, that will probably last longer than we're alive. Like, being honest. And not being able to use that, I don't know. I don't get it. Like,
wait, what do you mean not being able to use it? Like an aux, you're saying? Like just having it jacked
like an
up?
aux, a jack, anything. Like this, the HomePod's gonna. I mean, the HomePod I should live for a while, but say
there's no Bluetooth either.
Exactly. There's no Bluetooth. There's nothing. Say in 10 years, Siri's dead. Is that HomePod going to be updated? I mean, if it's not, like, cool. Now it's a fucking trash can.
No, they're definitely gonna have a HomePod 2 with Bluetooth, with the fucking whatever else in there, but that's gonna come, right afterwards. After everyone already buys the HomePod, because that's what Apple does.
I know, but then what if you buy a HomePod 1, like, just don't. Like, don't, because like it is a good speaker. That's part of my problem with it is I'm gonna spend $300 or $350 on a speaker. I expect that speaker to last 30 years easily.
Yeah.
No problem. And always be able to use it. And that's my problem with it.
Yeah, it sounds good though. It does sound good. It's actually surprising at how well they're able to give a 360 sound. Like a full sound. Like you could just walk around the thing and it's pretty cool. And I think implementing that into like real passive speaker technology would be awesome. Like I would love like a full bookshelf setup, but with that type of technology in it where it can spit out 360 audio, because as soon as you leave the sweet spot of my couch, it's not bad, but it's just a little off. Dude, the HomePod is like 100% anywhere you're at, which is pretty crazy. And I would love to see that in like a real speaker. I just feel like it's not worth it. Really. It's just not worth the price of admission. You can get such more high quality audiophile quality stuff right now at that price. So I would just recommend that. I wouldn't even really recommend smart speakers at all, actually. I feel like they're kind of useless to me.
Like those resonating stones that you put in the corner of your room.
Yeah, the magic stones, dude. Yeah. They block bad frequencies, man.
It's one of those things where it's like it's just annoying because it does sound good, especially for a speaker of that size. But yeah, like you were saying, you can get better at that price point that you can also keep forever. I mean, like, seriously, in my parents' living room, there is a radio from 1920s. Still sounds fucking fantastic. And guess what? You can still use it because it's a fucking cone speaker. Yeah. Like it's a technology that's amazing. It sounds fantastic. It lives forever if you treat it properly. So that speaker should be able to live forever. But now it's going to live as long as Apple wants it to live.
Yeah. Yeah, no Bluetooth is just dumb. And then no aux jack. Like they just locked it down to the iPhone, which is really stupid. But again, if you are someone, because I do like how Apple kind of is just like, it's really just for music. It's just to like listen to Apple Music. There's really no other purpose for it. Maybe it tells you the weather, it tells you scores and stuff like that, but they really made like a good speaker for music. And I do like how it's just like an extension of their ecosystem. They do a good job of saying, okay, if you have all of our products, things just work really nice. And that's just another piece of that. In my opinion, though, it should have been like, they should have cut down the amount of speakers on there, made it a little cheaper, like $100, and then you're good to go. $350 is a little pushing it, especially when a new one's going to come out with much better sound, much better features, in the next 1 or 2 years. And that one's going to be obsolete. And you're going to be pissed off that you spent $400 on it. But it sounds good for what it's worth. What else have I been using? I think that's it. I've been fucking editing videos for the past few days. It's insane. All right, let's get into news. Have you guys been doing anything, listening to anything, or using anything new? Pick up anything new?
Two things. One, Black Panther was dope, and the soundtrack for Black Panther is dope.
Yeah, by TDE.
Yo, dude. It's so just that movie was really really good.
The Black Panther soundtrack is actually like trending on Tidal.
Yeah,
I was listening to it in the gym. It's a good album.
It's totally cultivated and like architected by Gendrick.
Yeah, dude, he's just fucking does so much good shit.
And there's new songs, and he's not stopping. It's all fire.
Yeah, the movie was good though.
Yeah, the movie was great, and
what were you gonna say?
Are we gonna just pretend that Wayne didn't just say title?
Dude, by the way,
about that last week or whatever. Yeah,
you get it for free on Sprint. But okay. It's running. They only give you 6 months, and my 6 month runs out next month. So I'm like, fuck. Now do I go back to Spotify or do I get Apple Music? So I might just get Tidal again. I really like it.
But yeah, so like the movie it's really good. And the villain. I can't say he's a villain. He's an antagonist because a villain would say that he's wrong, and there are points in the movie where he feels justified.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest draw of the movie is Michael B. Jordan. He's the villain, right?
He's so good in it.
Michael Basketball Jordan. That's his middle name, dude.
Dude, man.
That's his middle name. Just basketball.
Michael
Basketball.
So yeah, do you recommend do you go to the theaters and watch it, or do you just like wait for it to pop up on Netflix?
Go see it. It's one of the best Marvel movies they've made.
Oh wow.
Which was hard too, because like I really liked Thor 3, but for everything that Thor Ragnarok was, where it was silly, goofy fun, this is a really good personal story. And it's not going to spoil anything, but it is very much a sins of the father story. So I really do like those kinds of stories. So like it hit me on a
Do you know anything about like Black Panther universe? Like, have you read any of the comics?
Yeah.
That is one comic that I really know nothing about. I just know kind of the origin of Black Panther, but other than that, I don't really know it.
Yeah, you really, for the movie, you really don't need to know the comic origins. That was one of the nice things too, was like, if you've never read a Black Panther comic, you're not going to be missing much in terms of like Easter eggs or things like that. But it definitely, there's a lot from the other Marvel movies that are still like coming up. So, I mean, you might want to watch a bunch of the other Marvel movies to understand who some of these characters are and why they matter. Like Claw, who was in Age of Ultron. And that's kind of thing. Like Age of Ultron was a crappy movie, but that's a character that's important to the Black Panther storyline. So
yeah, I want to check it out though. I heard it was fucking dope. I heard it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
everyone's going crazy about it.
We're in a really interesting age for Marvel right now because there's a bunch of movies coming out. You got the Avengers Infinity War Part 1, there's the Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then in the fall there's Venom with Tom Hardy as Venom. I'm like,
think about it like this. Has Tom Hardy ever disappointed you?
Absolutely not.
Never.
And it's based in San Francisco, which is going off of the some of the other comic storylines of Venom, which I really like. And there's not much known about the movie yet, but there's rumors that this is following the children of Venom. So it's not just Venom, but it's also like Carnage and some of the other like symbiotes. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, that does sound pretty sick if they're gonna have Carnage in there.
Dude, yeah. Well, that's a way to make him, because Venom is, an anti-hero, so he's an antagonist and sometimes a protagonist. And if we're gonna be following him as a protagonist, he needs something to fight, and for him to fight his children, like the other offspring of the Venom symbiote, like that's gonna be cool.
And it's Tom Hardy, dude.
And it's Tom Hardy.
It's crazy. He was Bane, and now he's Venom. Go figure.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan was the Human Torch, and then that movie sucked, but he was good in this one. And
he was the Human Torch. I didn't know that.
In the second, dude. Okay, he was the Human Torch in the second Fantastic Four movie, which was bad. And Chris Evans was the Human Torch in the first set of Fantastic Four movies, which were bad. And yet they both have done really good jobs in the MCU.
Yeah, interesting. All right.
You're just never gonna get a good Fantastic Four movie ever. It's better off on Netflix.
Yeah, never liked Fantastic Four anyway. They kind of remind me of Animaniacs.
Fantastic Four is like one of the oldest and like one of the origins for so many other heroes.
Nah, they're lame.
Yeah, I never liked the Fantastic.
Oh, you're stretchy. You're lame.
It's kind of, I don't know.
Lame power. Oh, you can go invisible. What a lame power.
All right, let's get into tech news. Microsoft accidentally reveals Windows 10 on ARM limitations. So they launched their ARM-powered Windows 10 PCs with all-day battery life back in December, while HP, Asus, and Lenovo devices aren't on sale yet. We're still waiting to hear more about the limitations of Windows 10 running on these new PCs. Microsoft published a full list of limitations last week, spotted by TWIT. Details on what to expect from Windows 10 on ARM. Only ARM64 drivers are supported. x64 apps are not supported. x64 apps are not supported.
Yep.
Certain games and apps don't work.
You have to emulate it all. It's all got to be just pure ARM support or an x86 emulation, so 32-bit.
Which makes sense.
It makes sense. Kind of sucks. The other big thing is you're not going to play games with it, which everyone kind of expected, because it only has OpenGL support up to 1.1, which is not current.
Yeah, you're not playing no games. Again, still kind of makes sense though.
Yeah.
You know,
like what the more people are actually annoyed is that Microsoft accidentally published this website for like a couple hours, then took it down. And everyone's like, but that's kind of important information, you know, if you're considering buying one of these laptops.
Yeah, why'd they take it down? Does it say why?
No, guessing just because they're trying to portray it as full Windows 10. And like it can do anything, because technically it sort of can through emulation.
Yeah, but not if you're just like a regular user, you know?
I mean, for most regular users, this isn't gonna bug them too much.
Right.
Like, it's only if you're gonna try to run games, which you're not gonna do with a Snapdragon processor anyway.
Right. All right, moving on. Google discloses security flaw on Microsoft Edge. Who isn't happy about it? Microsoft, dude, what are you doing? Stop being so unhappy. Microsoft and Google have been bitter rivals for at least a decade, and the pair have had several disagreements over security vulnerability disclosure in recent years. Google is stoking these disagreements again this week by disclosing a Microsoft Edge security flaw before a patch is available. NeoWin spotted that Google disclosed the security flaw to Microsoft back in November, and the company provided 90 days for Microsoft to fix it before going public, as it's rated medium in terms of severity. The public disclosure will likely anger Microsoft once again. Software giant hit back at Google's approach to security patches last October after discovering a Chrome flaw and responsibly disclosed it to Google, so the company had enough time to patch it. I mean, like,
it's a lot of it's due to that 90 days.
Yeah.
Like, of their squabble. So in Microsoft's world, responsibly disclosing security flaws is, hey, dude, we tell you and we don't mention it to the public until you have a patch. Google, on the other hand, is like, hey, we're going to give you 90 days because that should be enough time to fix it. And if not, like, the public kind of has a right to know.
And like,
so I can see why both sides. Yeah.
They're two different companies. You know,
right.
What I mean?
And that's also, that's how each one of them deals with security flaws. Google does this for everybody. Yeah. Like, they did the exact same thing with the Spectre stuff recently. Like, that is Google's security policy, is once they discover something, they'll be like, cool, we'll try to give you 90 days. But unless it's what they would consider an extreme risk, then they pretty much try to make it public knowledge a lot sooner, because it all goes off of how they rank how big of a security flaw it is. So they try to give people time to fix it. But, you know, like, I get how that is important for the public to also know if they give a shit.
Right. And I think on Microsoft, they're like, well, if they don't know, you know, then no one can exploit it, right? If it's kind of goes along like that.
Not really how it works is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Like, just because the public doesn't know doesn't mean, you know, your inner group of hacker friends haven't figured this out.
Right.
They don't really pay attention to the
I think 90
too
days
much.
is more than enough time. At least to get it out to the public, you know, 3 months. And you're like, if there's no patch for this, especially if it's medium, like a medium severity, you gotta let people know. Plus, like, it's Microsoft Edge, dude.
Which honestly is better than it used to be.
Oh, it's much better, but it's
still Microsoft Edge. Yeah,
still Edge. I don't know. I'll use the new Firefox over Edge. You know, I'll usually go Chrome, Firefox. If I have to, maybe Edge. Oops. The Wyze Cam, a $20 1080p home security camera. Well,
I
this thing
think
looks
this thing
pretty
is
cool.
dope. Yeah, they're releasing a new updated one that's also still going to be $20. But this thing's actually really dope, I think.
That's super
It's-
cheap.
Yeah, it's $20. It's a full HD 1080p security camera. Allows streaming to an app on your phone or tablet or computer. Has an SD card slot for recording on it, so you can get a decent, beefy enough SD card slot. Just wipe it once a week. And also, they're coming out next month with support for Echo devices like the Show, like the Echo devices that have a screen, so you can just use it as a live stream. Like, that's insane for $20. Like, I saw this, I'm buying one, because to me, like, that's,
I wonder.
it also has two-way audio too.
How is
so
it
you can
so
actually
cheap,
talk to it.
though? That's kind of what I'm wondering.
Because you can do cloud storage through them, and I'm thinking that's gonna
Pays
cost a
for
pretty
it.
penny.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, I have a Nest system, and it was fucking expensive. It was like $300 for the whole kind of setup, and we have the fire alarm as well. And
Yeah.
then you have to pay for the fucking service on top of it. Like
Yeah.
they give you service, but it's only for like, I don't know, it's a limited service. It's enough, but it's still a limited service. But you can pay for like the full. You get, I think, like a whole week of video that's in the cloud. So there's no SD cards. Luckily, it just hooks up to your Wi-Fi, it goes up to the cloud.
They have that. That's where I think they get most of their money from.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that because you have an SD card too. So if you want,
And it's
you can just-
it says
you can just-
continuous recording, so it should.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to wipe it. It should just do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, just throw an SD card in there. Something happens, but I mean, okay, it's $20 for 1080p decent. Like it's from what I've seen, it's more than decent enough. To me, that puts that into the realm of there is no reason why you shouldn't have at least one of these if you're like living in an apartment.
Anyone should.
20,
Dude.
20, yeah, like
Anyone should
$20.
have one.
Just put it pointed at your apartment door.
Yeah, that's super cheap. And you're gonna be
Like-
pissed if you don't have it, and that time comes where your shit does get robbed, or someone takes a package from your stoop, and $20
Like,
could have saved
Crap, for most people with renter's insurance, that $20 pays for yourself over your fucking 6 months of renter's insurance.
you. Yeah.
Like, because of the security break if you have a camera.
I'm super interested in it. Because if it's $20, dude, I'm gonna buy a few of them and put them, maybe give one to my parents and put them all over the place.
The other thing I thought that was cool too is since you can also do live streaming with it and it has two-way audio.
So it's like a webcam, you're saying?
Kind of, yeah. So like once, because you can have it live streamed to an app as well. Like shit, dude, $20. Pair it with your, your iPad, a tablet, or if you have like an Echo Show. Crap, dude, if you have to walk into the other room, there's your $20 baby monitor that you can still talk to your child with.
Yeah. Interesting.
Like that's also, hey, dude, hell yeah.
If you guys haven't gotten like a security system, highly recommend it, man. It's just such a peace of mind. When you could just like when you're out and no one's home and you could just like pop your phone on and just take a look. It's just, for some reason, man, it just eases your mind so much more than just kind of like a locked door. I don't know. I feel like just having that eye on your house is just makes it, you just feel so much safer that way.
I mean, another cool thing I think too is next month they're apparently adding if this then that to it too. So you could probably figure out a way to set up a loop that like if it's pointed at your door, you could have it probably set, hey, if my door opens, send me a text message.
Yeah.
Or a notification, something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Like-
That's what I like about Nest too. It's like it tracks all that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like if there's motion, it'll say, hey, someone's in your house, or there's just motion, which is cool.
But like for $20, I'm gonna buy one and at least try it out because
When
like
does
if
it
it's
come out?
actually the current
Yeah.
one's already out. The sequel's on pre-order. It looks like. So I don't know, but I mean, yeah, dude, I'll try it for $20. Like that, if it's actually good and works well, like there's no reason why not to have a security camera at that point.
Oh, I guess you can't purchase the original one, it looks like. Yeah, you can't. You just have to wait for the new one to come out.
Okay, they're still keeping support. But yeah, I mean, like $20, and it even looks good, and it just runs off of USB-C, and you can daisy chain 3 of them together off the same charger.
Yeah, it's cool, dude. But this is cooler. This next story. Razer has their own line of fake Heelys.
Yeah,
so,
what the fuck is this shit?
So,
dude, this is the best dumb gadget I've seen all week.
Are these electric powered or no?
I don't know.
I think they are. They're turbojets. So you strap them on your feet, and you can see them here. I'm gonna put it full screen. You strap these bad boys on your feet. This guy's doing a little
battery
dance.
powered, dude. It's got a huge battery on it.
Dude,
lasts for
what?
30 minutes. It's a 30-minute battery that's just gonna push you along.
What?
Even though the max weight that these skates can push apparently is 176 pounds.
Oh, that wipes a few of us out.
I think that wipes out 90%
Honestly,
of America.
at this point, dude, just get a pair of Heelys. Have you guys ever had Heelys?
Yeah.
They're the best.
I want to throw sticks in front of people who like have Heelys. And
They're
watch
the best, dude. I used to love my Heelys. When Heelys partnered up with soaps and they released the Heely soaps. Are you kidding me? Those were the fucking best.
Yeah, but now these are completely battery powered and will just push you. You don't even have to work.
For only 30 minutes, though. You only got 30 minutes. Dude, I don't know if anyone's going to buy these fucking things, to be honest. Those are real dumb.
Who the fuck would buy these? Maybe some ridiculous, like,
12-year-old
MIT school college kid that's like, I can use these to get around from class to class.
If it's only for 176 pounds, it's for like, a 14-year-old. Yeah. Like that's their target market.
But I don't know many fucking even. I don't know, man. They're gonna sell maybe 5 of these. I would like them. All right, I would like them if they were like if they would last all day. If you could just rip on them all day, dude, and just be like, meh, up and down the city all day, then I wouldn't see so much of an issue with them. And if they were able to carry my fat ass, unfortunately, I mean, some of these
you would buy them and you would strap them on, and they'd just be like, meh. You'd just be standing up, and you would just hear the gears be like, and they wouldn't move. It'd be really sad.
I'm not gonna lie though, some of these people wearing them definitely look a little heavier than 170. They look a little bit bigger than that.
I mean, that's what it says, and it's also a very odd number, 176. So I don't know.
That's crazy.
Maybe it might be too that's the number it needs for whatever speed it's supposed to go.
Yeah, like optimal speed.
Yeah.
Elon Musk gets Hyperloop digging permit in Washington, D.C. Dope. Super dope. Elon with the Hyperloop. So the Hyperloop, from what I understand, it's not just a train, right?
No.
You could drive your Tesla in it, and it'll shoot your Tesla down. Isn't that how it works?
No.
Isn't that what he wants to do?
I mean, eventually, but not like that. It still has to go into a pod. You'd have to drive it into a pod.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't just be your Tesla. Because the way it all works is it's basically a super electromagnet that you get in. You could drive it into. You could drive anything. Like half of the reason why people want Hyperloops, realistically, my other countries are trying to do it too, is for shipping. Like it's just a like I mean it's like you put the tube of an airplane, put a fuck ton of electromagnets in it, had it so there was as little to air in it and friction as possible, and just shot that thing down a tube with electromagnets.
And I mean, that's an idea that people have always had, like maglev trains and stuff, but like doing it so you can just travel real quick across the country.
Right. The idea of it's preferably a straight line without any friction, just to get it to go as fast as it fucking can.
Yeah. Which would be so dope.
Oh yeah. And
so DC
part of the future.
So there's one line that's supposed to go from DC. Hold on, she says it here. DC to NYC via Philly and Baltimore, which is pretty dope. Oh man, that would be awesome, dude. If I could just hop on a fucking Hyperloop to get to New York City real quick. That would be boss. Oh my god, dude, that opens up a lot of jobs for people in Philadelphia now too. Because if you can live in Philly where it's like 1/8 of the price of New York City, but then hop on a Hyperloop and it gets you there in a half an hour.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I
This
mean,
is why we need more
that's part
Elon
of all of
Musks.
it, yeah.
This is why we need more Elon Musks. James Damore gets laughed at by everyone when no one is shocked his lawsuit is worthless. Labor board says Google legally fired diversity memo writer.
Basically,
Go ahead.
for when he was trying to sue Google, it finally made it to a federal lawyer who just kind of looked at it and was like, "Yeah, no, they had every right to fire you."
Yeah, this is a throwback, isn't it? Didn't we talk
Yeah.
about this like early when it first happened?
Well, he sued him almost instantly based off of that, and now, as no one's surprised, it's being completely thrown out, and pretty much every federal judge is like, "What you on about?"
Well, I mean, the like whenever you get hired somewhere, basically you sign something that says they can fire you for any reason that they want. I mean, it's just any job that I've ever been to, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm sure Google is no different. So you can't really fight that. Like, they can discriminate all they want against you. They can talk about how much they don't like your politics or whatever, but it doesn't matter. They have every right to fire you for whatever reason. That's why that form exists. So they can
Well,
do
and
that.
from them going through it, it wasn't even that. They were just like the lawyer who was going through it and ruling on it was basically like, it's not even that they were just there wasn't discrimination. It's literally everything you were writing was so like corrosive to that culture. They had every fucking right to fire you. Like that, if you are proving to be an invaluable toxic asset, you're not protected from being fired. Was basically what her ruling was. I mean, her exact things are companies should have the freedom to stop the kind of employee conduct that could lead to a hostile workspace.
Yeah.
She also rejected Damore's attempts to mask his views with pseudoscientific claims, blah, blah, blah. Like, she just basically just was like, yeah, no, they had every right to fire you, dude.
I don't know how I feel about that, especially her kind of remarks on that. Because it wasn't like inciting toxicity or violence, like his memo. Like Google asked them to write criticisms. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he just went upon it himself to do that. And then again, it wasn't. I mean, some of the stuff he said was a little controversial, but it wasn't.
Well, I mean, some of the, I think that's debatable because I think some people have come out and said like, yeah, no, they were pretty fucking offended by that. And I mean, like it did make working with him on a team a fuck ton harder. Like if you make it so hard for you to like work with you as a team, yeah, they're gonna fire you.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like I mean, as soon as that memo was released, right?
No, it took about a good solid month or two. It wasn't as soon as that memo was released. It was that memo finally made it out to public.
Right, but what I'm saying is like that, like it wasn't like he made this memo and then started like becoming toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like he was really just released the memo and then went back to his job. He had certain views. And then it was kind of getting passed around. People were reading it and they kind of got a little offended, a little uncomfortable. Is it Google's right to fire him? Probably. You know, you can fire someone for pretty much whatever reason. But then to kind of like the judge kind of like, I don't know, it seems a little bit more than just the actual law. Pseudo-scientific claims, this kind of stuff. Just kind of, I don't like that one judge we were talking about where she was talking about how God like told her that the dude was innocent or some shit. I don't know if you guys remember that story.
I don't remember it, but that bitch she probably shouldn't be a judge.
Right. That's what I'm like. I don't know. Some of these judges, man. I don't know. Moving on.
Hey, man, federal judge, you're appointed to life.
Moving on. Budget Tesla smart car EV Cabrio. Why do these cars always gotta look so fucking dorky, dude?
Dude,
They can't make a
it
good looking
does.
tiny car.
I kind of it's grown on me over the years. I'm not gonna lie. It
Maybe
still
it's the
looks
color.
it still looks it's the color. It still looks trash. But like they've grown on me in a little bit of a charm way, like the way a geo tracker has. Like it looks bad, but it can look it can look so bad that it has a bit of charm.
Yeah. And it is smart, right? So you got that going for it. This is not Tesla, but this is not a Tesla, by the way.
This is the budget Tesla. This is what you buy if you can't afford a Tesla.
28 grand.
28 grand fully packaged out. This thing's still only like 31 grand.
Oh wow.
Yeah, where a fully budgeted out Tesla 3, which starts at 30 grand, but no one's gonna buy the 30 grand model. If you fully package out the Tesla 3, it's more like 63 or 65 grand.
Right.
So that's why I call it the budget. It seems actually like it's pretty cool. The biggest thing against it, though, it's got a 58-mile range.
Oh my God.
So you're staying in the city.
Yeah, that's a little small. Does it have hot swappable batteries?
Nope. No, we're not there yet with electric cars.
I mean, this is basically you just put a couple of double A's in here and have this thing run. It's so fucking tiny.
I mean, being honest, pretty much Tesla, BMW, and Chevy with the Bolt are like really the only major car manufacturers who've broken 100 miles. And even like the Bolt itself's only like 130.
I think that's what
Tesla's
you need, though.
Yeah, but no, like Tesla's really like the only company that's figured out, hey, dude, we got a car that can do 300 miles range.
Yeah.
Like they're it. That's why they're doing so well.
Yeah, you need, I mean, there's not enough just charging stations. You need that. You need that type of range so you can have a charging station where they need to be, and you can get around. Where it's like if you got 50 miles, I mean, you're in the city. That's it. You might as well call this a fucking bike.
Well, that's what it is, though. It's free travel in the city. It's a smart car. It's not like you're gonna fill it up and go on a road trip with it.
Yeah.
But it's a car that has an 11 feet turning radius, so you can park it anywhere. Like it's meant you're supposed to get it to a city, and that's where it's gonna stay.
Yeah. And dude, I mean, I would love a car that small to park. Sometimes parking with my fucking Jeep is so annoying because you'll be off by like that much.
Yep.
And you're like, fuck, dude. If I just had an inch left, take my bumper off.
Dude, having a tracker when I was a couple of years ago for a while.
I'm gonna put up a picture of a
dude.
Geo tracker.
That's converted me to wanting a second small car for in-city travel. I have I'll keep a nicer car for long distance, but in the city I want something that's small as shit.
What year was your tracker?
94?
These are so funny looking.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, that's what that thing kind of looks like. It kind of looks like a Geo tracker, except with a hatchback.
Well, that's the Cabrio though. So that's the convertible, soft top type. They have one that's even cheaper.
Oh, that one has that's a soft top in the back, you're saying?
Yeah.
Or the whole top is soft.
Whole top soft. I mean, except for like the roll cage basically.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And that part going up. They have a cheaper version that's like $5,000 cheaper. That's just a hard top that actually has more travel space.
Yeah, but
or carry space.
Like a little convertible one would be kind of cool because then then it technically is like an expensive bike.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, dude, if you just need trips around the city, like, sure, dude, I'm interested. If they could get one of these things doing like 100 miles.
Yeah, it's got to be more than 50, maybe even more than 100.
What was really interesting to me though is Smart actually, with this is why this is getting reviewed so much. They have now completely gotten rid of all of their gas cars.
That's good.
You can't buy a gas smart car anymore. They're all just electrics.
That's good. I'm surprised that it's still like a slow onset of electric or at least even hybrid cars. You still got a lot of gas on the road. All right. NVIDIA announces record Q4 2018 results, which I'm not very surprised at. Here you're stating that it's a lot to do with crypto, which is probably correct.
All of these titles I just gave cheeky comments.
Yeah, but honestly, I think you would be pretty accurate. At least 50% of their profits last year had to have been crypto.
Oh, dude, as soon as the crypto boom hit, you could go to any store, everything sold out, always.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's taken till recently I've been able to even go to a Best Buy and find something other than a GT 710.
Let's look at their stock right now.
Like
243 when this was when they put this article up, which was on the 8th, it was at 217. It's actually had a little bit of a dip today.
Yeah, but everything's been dipping over the last couple of days. The last week or so.
It was at 250 at one point. So NVIDIA's doing really nice right now. Do you think it's gonna carry over into next year?
Yeah,
Not sure.
Until we have graphics cards again. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you think they're just gonna keep rising? Well, I think a lot of it plays on how well the PC gaming market kind of does. So we're gonna see, because it's got some tough competition, especially now with graphics cards kind of being locked up and things are pretty tight. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a dip, but NVIDIA is always looking pretty. When have they ever really claimed losses?
Not in a long time.
I mean,
they were up 41% this year.
Yeah, that's one thing I really liked looking at with NVIDIA is like their operations is like on point, man. They really know what they're doing. The fact that they can release like really impressive hardware, put it at a competitive price while also maintaining like strong profits. It's pretty cool.
They're actually doing really well this year too in comparison with automotive, because they're getting into a lot of the smart cars too.
Yeah, automotive $130 million in Q4 alone. Gaming is still widely the top, but I wonder, does that include crypto?
Oh yeah, there isn't a crypto card. Still gaming cards. This is for any GTX 1080 that's been sold. You know what I mean?
You're right. I'm thinking they're setting this up as like a sections of how they buy their cards, but this is like their gaming cards that they sell the most of. Yeah, so it's got to be both gaming and the crypto, because the 10 series did wonderfully. 10 series did wonderfully, and then you added the crypto on top of that. They're sitting pretty. I'm surprised our Quadro series sells as well as it does. $254 million. It's got to be all Pixar. It buys all their cards.
Well, I was gonna say that. I mean, if you're doing anything like with CAD or anything that uses a Quadro, it's been proven that if you do stuff that is based around using a Quadro kills their gaming cards.
Yeah.
Like if you're running heavy CAD apps, like stuff like that, they just demolish fucking any gaming card. Like it's kind of hilarious. Like this, like a GTX 1080 or like even a 1080 Ti, I think would, in like a same benchmark, would get like a 70 versus a P2000, which is, same price point for all intents. They're both supposed to be $800 cards. That was getting like a 178 on the same benchmark for dealing with CAD stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Because they have I don't know exactly how like the hardware of it works, but ultimately it just computes a lot faster rather than just giving it more raw horsepower.
Like that's huge. So if your type of workflow has to deal with that, I mean, what are you gonna do? Buy a fucking AMD card?
That's a good. Actually, let's look at AMD stock compared to NVIDIA stock. Just to see how they.
AMD's a tricky stock too, though, because AMD is all one company now. So it's like, their graphics cards are sucking right now and tanking while Ryzen's boosting the fuck out of them. So AMD is such a fucking weird stock. try to keep track of.
Yeah, they
It's
were at
also-
one point in 2006 at $40, and right now they're currently sitting at $11.82.
Go over this entire year, dude. It like AMD is probably one of the most volatile tech stocks I've ever followed.
Yeah, they're almost like a penny stock.
Kinda. Like it's crazy how volatile AMD stock is.
Yeah, like tomorrow they're projected at $12, which makes no sense.
A lot of people like playing with it. I'll tell you that much.
Interesting. Yeah, there's no stability in their stock. And again, that's, there's a lot of factors into that. If just like stability alone is kind of what you want to look at. Is Nvidia, one of those kind of blue chip stocks? I'm not sure, but they seem to kind of know how to squeeze profits. That's for sure. And I mean, they're claiming revenues of 2.9 billion for Q1, so that's pretty crazy.
Nvidia always seems a little bit safer too,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, because AMD is kind of up down. I'm
Yeah.
not sure about the stock market, but I know about their products. I mean, they're either lackluster or they're really good.
Yeah, they always have like a series that'll do really well, and then the next one is kind of everyone's like, well, just go get the Nvidia one. But while Nvidia, it's always just solid performance is kind of gaining.
Yeah, it's pretty much just always solid.
Yeah. I mean, Nvidia is one of the safer tech stocks by far.
Yeah.
Also with tech stocks, if you're gonna buy, try to buy around when earnings are announced, because I've also noticed that whenever earnings are announced, their stocks plummet in comparison. It's weird. It's like that with all tech companies. Like if it's in the middle of the quarter, that's the highest the stocks get for tech companies. I've just noticed that trend. It's kind of interesting.
Kind of makes sense. A lot of these tech guys, they want the next Facebook. So if they're seeing their stock is starting to dip, they're not reaching the numbers that they were projected when they first bought in, because they're all like insider trading. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that is just like they know who they're talking to and what to buy. So when they hear numbers and then they don't reach them, they're probably like, all right, well, let's dip this off and go into another one. And that's why you probably start to see those little bit of a dip.
Well, I mean that like, see, like you can find that trend like even on Intel, like even on big names. Like that's just how tech stocks have usually follow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's hilarious.
All right, this is funny because I watched this video today. PUBG benchmark by Gamers Nexus, graphic analysis on the Xbox One X, and I wasn't really paying attention to how this testing was done because he said he had to do something different, right? Because you see you see like this graph here. I'm not exactly sure what this graph represents with the one like the green.
Oh, he's going
through
individual frames.
Am I looking at the wrong video here?
No, you're looking at the right one. He's going through individual frames and seeing if they were there or if they fucked up.
And the red is where the frame is not there, correct?
Or it's dropping, yeah.
It's a complete disaster, the game. But it's the most popular game.
I like how I like they figured it out that for most parts it will do 25 frames per second, which is, okay, it's getting there. But then it'll just drop to 12 like every couple of seconds, especially if you get into a vehicle. Shooting doesn't matter as much as getting into a vehicle.
Not only that, but it'll crash your game too. Getting into a vehicle. Or just checking your inventory in a weird place. It'll crash your game too.
Of course, why not?
I will say it's playable. Like it's bare minimum playable. And like what we were talking about last time, that's basically I guess what they wanted was like, we need to release something that's playable so people buy this game, we can cash in and then hopefully get a team to fix it. But it's just barely playable. You're not getting. I feel like these big dips and these 12 frames per second numbers, they happen at weird times. Like they normally don't happen when you're in a firefight. That's what I've found, especially towards the end of the match when there's not that many people around. It seems to be around 25-30 frames per second, just kind of chilling there. But like the beginning of the round is just a complete fucking mess. Anytime someone throws a smoke or a Molotov, you know, you're going to start lagging a little bit. You're probably going to hit like 15, 18 frames. And like there, when you're getting into those territories, it's just frustrating, you know? And then you add on like all of like the server issues, you add in the crashing, and it becomes like a very frustrating experience. But I think that just goes to show like this game is just, it has something to it that makes people want to play through that. You know, I don't know what it is.
Does.
I don't know what it is, but like I don't even think about that stuff when I play. I'm just trying to fucking survive.
It has to have something special when the start of the game is when it's at its absolute buggiest and most unplayable, yet people are still going through it.
And dropping into high impact areas. Like normally like on PC everyone drops to school. They do so on Xbox as well. And that's like if you're dropping into these areas where you're fighting and you're getting like 1 frame per second to 12 frames per second, you're a crazy person, you know. But that's what a lot of these people are still doing. They're still dropping into these high impact areas. They're getting like super hard rubber banding where it's like it doesn't even make sense, and they keep doing it. They'll do it round after round after round. So there's something there, man. They definitely got something. So it's kind of depressing when it's like if you just fix the game, it's just going to be so much more, you know, such a bigger game that maybe they just don't know how to do it. I don't know. It should have been fixed by now, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's PUBG.
Yeah.
They're not going to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I don't even think 30 frames is like enough for this game.
No.
You know? I don't even think if they get it a locked 30, it'll be enough.
No, it's still going to be terrible. I don't know. Like PUBG on the Xbox just does not sound good to me at all.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't like PUBG, playing it on an Xbox could be considered torture. It's just not, it's not the ideal situation. But yeah, this is a funny video. I thought the testing stuff was cool too. Pretty insane.
No, they do a fantastic job going into their testing. That's actually the next article, but that's just a quick show off of how they go into their testing and benchmarking.
Yeah, so what is this? What is this article here?
Basically, it's how they like to, it's them detailing their benchmark process, but also going into how deviation works and the idea of benchmarking, especially in different types of cards. So it's like how you would see deviations of your frames per second per card of graphics cards. So like example, the 1070 Ti shows a larger difference in its lowest frame over multiple tests than say a Vega 64. So a Vega 64 would be more consistent. It's just going into the ideas of benchmarking and how reliable that is, since it's such a hardware comparison and there's so many different fucking vendors of graphics cards, things like that. And how you have to run like 30 tests to actually come up with a concrete set of numbers.
And this is like, this kind of stuff really appeals to people like who are just like overclocking and kind of want to push the maximum performance out of their PCs. Because I mean, when you're getting into like deviations of like the lowest common denominator, I mean, you're not really seeing that much of a difference, you know? Especially nowadays. I feel like nowadays with like the 10 series and then the Vega cards, they're pretty good. You know what I mean? They're pretty good. Yeah. They can release an image pretty quickly. The refreshes, like I've never really had much of an issue with the 1080 nor the 1080 Ti. And then I would even say the 970. I don't know so much on Vega's end, but from what I've seen, it doesn't seem to be that much. It doesn't seem to be that big of an issue. Like frame times and response rates.
Biggest issue with Vega is actually getting one at an appropriate price.
Yeah. Well, I guess any card for that matter.
Yeah, but it's cryptocurrency, so Vega's like 3 times what it should be, while Nvidia's 2 times.
True. Very true. All right.
And speaking of graphics cards, there you go.
Last story. New NVIDIA GPUs next month. Appears so. Steve from Gamers Nexus backing up the name Turing, having dropped hints in the video. So they're gonna call it Turing. Turing.
That's what it sounds like.
NVIDIA Turing.
Or
What
at
is
least the
that?
gaming
What is
portion.
a Turing test? What is a Turing test? I don't remember what that is.
Well, you just failed it.
I don't know what it is. Is it a memory test?
Kinda. Or it's an intelligence type test, yeah. So like Turing, he was a famous scientist. But basically it sounds like the new NVIDIA cards are probably gonna get dropped next month at one of their conferences is the
Yeah,
hopes.
boy.
And it's going to be based off of Turing, best I can tell, because there's been conflicting reports of some of them being called Ampere, and some of the reports say Turing, but I'm gonna go with Turing because Steve from Gamers Nexus was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Turing. I've been dropping hints in videos that it's gonna be Turing, and he like played a couple of old spots from videos because basically that's what he was told months ago from board vendors. So at least board vendors apparently think it's called Turing. So that makes it seem a lot more credible, in my opinion,
Right.
that there's people saying board vendors have ideas for these Turing cards. So we could be seeing 2080 or 2070 next month. Fingers crossed.
Oh, dude. Already? What the fuck, man?
Been 2 years.
It's always I feel like it hasn't. I feel like it's
I know.
been like a few months, man. Damn. That's crazy. I'm pumped though. That just got me pumped. A 280? A 2080? NVIDIA
Yeah.
2080? Can I handle it? I don't know if I can.
I don't know, but
I feel like
definitely
1080,
interested.
like 1080, 1070, I feel like that works. But when you say 2080,
2080, I know. I don't
it
like
doesn't work right. They're going to have to do something about it. They're going to call
That's
it the
what I was-
1082 or some shit like that.
That's
dude.
what I was wondering last week, like 1180 or 2080. Like both of them are
I like
terrible.
1180, but then again, then there's just too many numbers involved.
Like,
the
yeah.
1080 part duh.
Yeah, the pas droit.
Duh. Pas droit.
The 42069.
420,
Dude,
69,
if
360.
Nvidia released a fucking Nvidia GTX 420 69, be the biggest selling card ever. Why don't some of these like
Big picture of Doge on it.
yeah, why don't some of these like tech companies get on the ball with that shit, man? Shit sells.
All I'm saying is, if it comes out at a reasonable price, I'll probably buy one.
I would say 1,000.
Yeah, but you're talking Nvidia, so it's not gonna be a reasonable price.
$37.
Dude, usually, well, okay, their founders is late last year, or 1080, the founders is only $50 more. So if it's only $50 more than what MSRP is supposed to be, I'll take that at this point. Because that's
Yeah.
probably going to be a steal in the current market.
I wonder how hard it's gonna be to get one
Oh, yeah.
at first.
You'd have to buy it day one. You know what I mean? So we'll
Yeah.
see. But
I have a micro center near me.
same.
So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go there next week and start being buddies with one of the guys there.
Just be like, hey, can you put one of those on the shelf for me? Or just
Yeah.
keep it off the shelf, you know? I'll give you money to buy one too.
Yeah, right, dude. I'll be like, I'll slip you a fucking free DIY or die concentrate. You leave a card up there for me. Cause I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough, dude. It's gonna be tough. I might wait a little bit until I see a TI version. I like the TIs, man. I don't want to do what I did last time where I bought the 1080 and then I was like, I gotta get the TI. I think I might just wait this time.
Oh yeah. If you have a 1080 Ti, wait.
I mean,
So, we haven't. It all depends too on benchmarks, tests, stuff. We don't know anything about these cards.
Yeah, yeah. It's just it's that PC master race, dude.
I get it. Because I mean, I want to replace this 970, so now I'm tempted. Like maybe I'll go to 2070 because it might only be $50 more instead of $300 more for a 1070.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You're gonna have to go to the micro center, get up to the manager, and be like, "Yo, when those cards drop, I'll suck your dick. I'll suck your dick." for that Turing card, baby. Ooh, Turing, baby. Give me that GTX.
And there's our ASMR hour.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
Our ASMR hour.
ASMR
oh my God,
hour.
dude. What show am I on? Please, God.
All right, before we get out of here, let's look at the crypto markets. We're on an upswing. We had a Bitcoin rally recently, woo, which basically means everything rallies.
It's all about that the Atari token.
Atari tokens?
Yeah, you didn't see that? Atari's getting into the cryptocurrency market.
Jesus Christ. I think they might be a little too late. I think they missed their crypto little window.
They tried selling you the Atari box, and now they're trying to sell you Atari token. Atari, go like the 2600 and die.
Yeah, I know. The fuck? That's a good question. When has the Atari ever been fun?
Not since Dragster on the 2600.
Yeah, Bitcoin's at 11,500. It's I'm seeing no signs of slowdown either. So, I mean, look at this graph, dude. I mean, come on. Be serious about this, dude. This is insane. How is anyone supposed to get any type of investing done with this? I'm not going to show you I guess I can. We'll show you the GDAX. Yeah, it seems like there's a little bit of pressure. So, I mean, maybe it's going to sit around this for a little bit. I don't see much buying power right now. But then again, who the fuck knows? Oh, I'm looking at Ethereum. Still, yeah, we're seeing a little bit of pressure at these numbers. So I don't know if you're still in it, game. If you haven't been the ones who just cashed out already, you missed your window to buy back in because you could have made some nice profit. I mean, it's crazy. So you're gonna see some resistance around here, I'm guessing. And then I would assume there's going to be a little bit more of a sell-off. If you're going to start to see more buys, then I would say this is a good price to buy in if you're looking for like a small return that you're going to dump soon, if you're going to keep an eye on the market. If not, I would wait. I think the price is going to, kind of fluctuate from 9 to this price. That's my little guess there. Or you can get one of these nuclear supercomputers from Russia and basically just mine it. And there you go. You're basically printing free money. All right. That's it for the show. Make sure you hit our website, No Life Digital. Keep an eye out on Doobie's new section. Jerry's got an article, too, that he said he's going to be putting up. So keep an eye on that as well. Actually, that should be up, right, by the time you guys see it. Doobie section will be up. Yeah. Jerry's, you guys should see it. If you haven't read it, go read it. And hit up our Twitter and our Instagram and our Twitch at No Life Digital. We'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.